and welcome to WoW Flash. This is my weekly news series where I talk about anything of interest around the world of Warcraft that's come from the past 7 days. And quite a lot of news this week. So first of all, Gamescom is really soon, and it has long been expected there's going to be a very major announcement. And as I was saying to people on the stream last night, that can only mean one of three things. Either the new expansion, which is of course the odds-on favourite, or that they're going to add a new tier into Legion. No, I don't think that's the case. Or that they're going to be bringing out a new Warcraft game. And again, I don't think that's the case. So yeah, it's very, very likely. It's round about the right time for it as well, that they be announcing the new expansion. So expect a number of vlogs on what they say from me next week. The Trial of Style is out at long last, although doesn't look like I'm going to be doing this. It's only out for a few days. It's out up to and including the 21st of August. But it's not the positive experience a lot have been having. I mean, people in my own guild have been saying this, and people on forums. There's lots of reports of people going in as groups, which basically means win trading. That basically means that the winners are often not even putting any effort into their transmog. They know they're going to win. Little bit disappointed that Blizzard have allowed this very obvious form of cheating in it. And as I say, in my particular case, I'm just thinking to myself, well, I'm not going to bother then. It sounded like a bit of fun. It was something I was looking forward to, but I'm thinking, you know, if it's going to be like that, and I don't know how common that experience is, but the fact that it can even happen just means it spoils it a little bit for me. Now, Blizzard, we're talking about in patch 7.3, there's going to be new casting animations. They've already sort of been doing some over Legion. And they'll be talking about their philosophy behind it. I think one of the key things seems to be the idea that what they don't want happening is like a cast. You do a casting animation, that looks really special, and then when you've finished it, you go back down to your passive standing position. From what the sound of it is, they sort of want you to go to a sort of battle-ready, in-between casting type stance that makes a bit more sense. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's been on the PTR and tried it with their own cast to see what they think about that. Coming to patch 7.3, again, they've made it really clear now what their schedule is. They talked about this in the Q&A some time ago, but they've now made it very, very clear. Week 1, there are 3 zones on Argus. Week 1, we're going to get access to 2 of them. Now, the way it works is there's quest lines in each one. You initially go to one zone. You have to do the main quest line there before you can get to the second zone anyway, but the second zone is available in the first week. You've also got access to the world quests. So that's going to be really important for rep because, of course, there are 2 new factions there, one of which people will want to get rep for because of the permanent augment rune, if nothing else. But also there's a wide variety of mounts available from Argus, some of which are available from the Quartermasters. Week 2, that will activate the 3rd zone as long as you've done the quest lines from the first 2 that allow you access to that 3rd zone. And also the invasion events. The invasion events are going to be a significant source, just like the invasions were for the Broken Shore, or the Broken Isles in general, because that's where they were, for the new version of Nether Shards, which, you know, the vendor, because the vendor, at the moment you get, I can't remember the name of it, but the good vendor for Nether Shards on the Broken Shore is disappearing. He's gone in 7.3 to Argus. So you won't be able to get anything from him then. So you get so Nether Shards themselves are not going to be that useful, so spend them while you can, is what I would say. Unless you've got something cunning planned for them. And he's going to accept a different currency for which you get 710 item level stuff. But I've already done my 7.3 Essentials guide. It's a very quick guide that covers everything I think that you're going to need to know. It doesn't cover everything that's coming in the patch, but I think it's everything that people might want to know in advance. I've tried to keep it really short and to the point for people who like that sort of thing as well. And then week 3 is when we get the Netherlight Crucible coming out. Again, as long as you've done all the quest lines that lead up to it, which you'll need to do in those first 3 zones over the first 2 weeks. And also they're releasing the new dungeon as well, Thete of the Triumvirate. That's got like, what, 4 new bosses in it as well. So, the pre-patch scenario is out as well. I didn't actually, I did this on the PTR. When you do things on the PTR, you don't necessarily know what order things are coming out. So this was designed for pre-patch, so it's out now. So it's not a spoiler anymore. I can talk about this. So this is the one with Magni Bronzebeard. And even though I haven't done it on live yet, I've done it on the PTR a few times. But everyone's had days to do it now, so don't moan at me now. So what you clearly see in this one is the full globe of Azeroth. So it's pretty clear that Blizzard are saying to us there is no major undiscovered continent on Azeroth. There might be small little islands, but there's no clearly visible, because that globe shows it. That's right up to date with lore-wise. And of course, it's the sort of thing in theory they could change in a few years' time. They don't mind changing things like this, but it means in their plans, and they must have long-term plans, of course. In their plans, they don't think they need that. Now, to my mind, an undiscovered continent would have been a really good way of opening up lots of new zones for future expansions. Of course, there can still be little clusters of islands that we can go to for one or two more expansions, but you can't keep doing that, surely. So I'd be interested to know what their long-term plans are and why they've made it really clear, because they didn't have to, why they've made it really clear that there is no undiscovered continent. Maybe someone could ask that at a panel at Gamescom or BlizzCon, for example. Hint, hint. I won't be available either, I'm afraid. Their investor reports has just come out. This used to be really interesting because people used to speculate based on the subscription numbers. We no longer get subscription numbers, but we have had a few little points come out. They've said that Blizzard overall had the biggest quarterly online player community in its history, with a record 46 million, up 38% year over year. Obviously, this is covering all the games. So, in particular, it said World of Warcraft time spent grew year over year, and Legion continues to outperform the prior expansion. The first comment there, World of Warcraft time spent grew year over year. Quite sure exactly what I think is meant by that. I'm not sure is quite true, but saying that Legion continues to outperform the prior expansion, I should bloody well hope so, wouldn't you? And they've announced here, but this was the official announcement. I sort of knew about this ages ago. I think a lot of people who keep their eyes or the finger on the pulse here would know this. Blizzard plans to release another large content drop this quarter with more details at Gamescom. But I mean, this, when you read that, it could be for any Blizzard game. But I was told some time ago that for World of Warcraft specifically, there's going to be a major announcement. So you've got to assume expansion, I guess, like I said at the start. And I imagine the content drop, I hope anyway, would be the open alpha later on this year, after BlizzCon, I imagine. Just like it was last time. Now, that's sort of it in terms of the news. So in terms of sort of streaming specific stuff, apologies for missing Tuesdays. I had a major recruitment emergency, as people who saw that video on that would know. It's not quite over yet. We've got a new tank. Hopefully that's going to work out. Still need a couple of things, but we'll see what the weekend brings. I have some hopes, but we will see. I will be streaming again today. I'll be streaming at 7 p.m. UK time today, which from this point of view is in few and a half hours. But yeah, I may have to pause at some point. I won't pause streaming, but I may have to pause at some point to talk to someone that I want to talk to recruitment wise, because we do need to get someone this weekend. And then sort of back for next week, there's the same sort of streaming schedule. And then the week after I go back to work, I will attempt to maintain that. There'll still be a streaming schedule, of course. Exactly what it will be, whether it will be absolutely every day, we will see. But it will be most days at the very least, and I'm aiming to make it every day. I think I can. Now, someone did ask just one last little thing. They sort of suggested another nostalgia video with my rose-tinted glasses, which I used when I did a series of nostalgia videos when my channel was still very young and very tiny. And by many people's standards, it's still quite tiny. But, when it was really tiny, by anyone's standards. And then the last couple of nostalgia type videos I've done, I haven't done it with them because basically I misplaced them when I moved house. I couldn't find them. I knew they'd be somewhere. I have now found them. And as luck would have it, there's another nostalgia type video that I'm wanting to do today. In fact, straight after I finish this one, in fact, it's not a World of Warcraft one related to the one that, ironically though, this one. It's actually a Dungeons and Dragons one. But it's sort of, I'm going to go through the story of why I'm a paladin in a great deal more detail for it. Anyone who's interested in Dungeons and Dragons, you definitely want to check this video out. For those who are not, okay, just it says Dungeons and Dragons on it, so you don't have to watch it. I very rarely do other game videos on my channel, but every now and then I do one. And of course, Dungeons & Dragons is, like a lot of people, I suppose, my first fantasy role-playing game. So there we go. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you've enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll see you later.